Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Bourbon, Bikes, and Business with Hank and Blaze. Blaze, how are you doing today?
I'm doing much better. Feeling a lot better. Got rid of this cold. Now you got it, right?
Yeah, thanks a lot for sending it through the computer to me. I don't know if I had COVID or just a cold or what. I flew to Chicago and came back with the crud. So, getting over it now, though. I feel much better than I did this time last week. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's going around.
You ready for Christmas? Holidays?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. We're going to the Outer Banks get away for a little bit. Yeah, so
good for you. Good for
how about you?
I'm headed up to Massachusetts again in probably a couple days. So, yep.
You're gonna get me a Henry McKenna this time?
Maybe.
Don't forget me.
I picked up a special bottle in Poolsville, which I'll talk about in the next show.
Are you gonna taste some today?
No, that's next round or whenever we get together again. What are you drinking today?
Well, let's tell everyone what we're gonna be covering today, and then we'll get to drinks. I know you're always anxious to get straight to the alcohol, Blaze, but all right. So today we have a great show. This is our pre-Christmas holiday show. Next week we'll be off, but this one will launch 5 days before Christmas, right? So
yeah, yep.
Today we are going to be covering some fantastic topics. One, and I found a few great ones. We're going to be covering some really cool New Year's Eve or New Year's Day bike rides that are out there for you to do as we're recovering from our holiday feasts and our New Year's celebrations. We can hop on the bike and, get back to reasonability.
Right.
If that's a word, right? Then we're going to be talking about what's going on with the bike industry. What are we seeing? We see all kinds of sales out there right now. People are talking about, some downturn in the bike industry. So we'll be exploring that a little bit and talking through that and our own observations there. And then just going to be shooting the stuff when it comes to business today. We'll just be talking about what we've seen in our businesses and maybe how we can help people coming into the new year. So
great.
Does that sound good to you?
That sounds great.
All right, and before we really jump in full earnest into this thing, sorry, there's a cat hair flying in front of me. Until we jump all the way into this thing, let's remind viewers, it could be very helpful. Maybe this holiday season, this is your present to us, to like and share and subscribe to the channel. All three of those things really help us out. We started this late into 2023, but in 2024, we really want to make a go of this thing, and you could help us out with that. So
yeah, spread the word.
I'm done. All right,
hope you make it through it.
Before I pass away, what are you drinking today? The bourbon's gonna help me out a little, I think. So
I went shopping last week and I found what you had recommended in
one of my favorites.
And this is 8 years, 7 months. It's almost a 9 month instead of a 7-year Baker's.
Right.
So this stuff is as far as the smell goes, it's got all kinds of stuff. I was sitting here, you can smell it from the next room over. It's really got caramel, cinnamon, like you said, the normal bourbon type stuff. But wow, it really packs a punch, like you said, I think it's 107 proof, 58. Which I think you said that's about normal, right?
Yep. That's one of my favorite go-tos.
But it's got a kick right out of the gate. It hits you, stays with you, and it lingers. I mean, it hits you. It's a good winter. Warm you right up. Right away.
Yeah, for sure. That's one of my good. I have 3 bottles on hand right now, just so.
Wow.
I always have some, and anytime I go in the store, like I was telling viewers, if you can find one of those 8-month plus bottles, you're getting a whole lot of value. You're getting almost 9-year bourbon,
right,
for $58,
right,
with some very nice complexity to it. Great.
And
taste.
I was reading the label. This is from the Jim Beam distillery, right?
Yeah.
It says. I thought it was Wild Turkey, but it's actually Jim Beam.
No, it does taste like a Wild Turkey product. It does taste like it would be in that line, but it's
Yeah.
one of the three Bs: the
And the
Baker,
seven comes from
Booker's,
seven.
and B.
Yeah, the seven comes from the seven generations of distillers, is what I read on the back
Oh,
of it. That's where the seven
interesting. I
comes
did not
from.
know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Cool.
So today for me,
What do you got?
like I said last time, I've been really into the ryes lately.
Mm.
So this is High West, which I'm really a big fan of the High West stuff. This is a double rye. They're double rye, and this is actually a limited release barrel pick. Um, Barrel type was a ruby port. So this comes from Riverside
Ooh,
Liquors in Frederick, one of our local liquor stores,
I'm gonna swing
and
by there today.
was a hand pick of the double rye. So
Where does
excellent.
that come out of? Is that Kentucky or is that somewhere else?
Colorado. I think High West is in
That's what I
Colorado.
thought.
Yeah, High West home in historic Old Town Park City and the world's
Oh,
only
Utah.
ski gastro distillery.
Park City, Utah, then. Okay.
Park City, Utah, I guess. Yeah.
Cool. High West.
I love High West stuff. And they actually do the Midwinter's Night dram,
Dram. Oh, real?
which
I
is
was gonna wonder where
allocated
that was from.
product.
Okay. I'll have to
Hmm.
try one of those. I've never had one of their products. I always get their label looks like Smooth Ambler out of West Virginia.
You
Is
said that, but then we looked at the Smooth Ambler, and I don't think so. Hold on. Let me see
no,
if I can grab a bottle. Is that on the other shelf?
they're down
Yeah.
there in the mountains near the Greenbrier Inn in West Virginia. They're
This is
actually,
this
I
is the
think it's
Smooth Amber
okay.
bottle, so it's a little bit different.
A little, yeah, yeah. For some
Um,
reason, like it's too
anyway, I
confused.
also in personal news
Hmm.
expanded the shelving in my bourbon room
Oh,
last
really?
week. They
What did
had
you do?
five new shelves. Actually, I can show everyone. There's my light.
Wow.
Get that out of there. But
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
so I added some new shelving there and
Wow.
upgraded my outfit. So if you see behind me, it's kind of clear now. My
Right.
wife gave me the directive. She said, I want all those bottles off the countertop now. So I said, I think her meaning of that was get rid of the bottles. My meaning of that was buy some additional shelving and
But
display those things up
do
on
you
the
still
wall.
have the
So,
do you still have the bottles in the closet, the backup
uh,
inventory, or did you move those
yeah,
out?
those are
Jeez.
seconds and backup inventory just in case rainy
Ah,
day happens to pop up.
you know
So
what I think? You need to start a Facebook page that says Hank's Barrels.
thanks, Barrel. And just tell people that they can buy whatever for whatever price and then never ship it to them.
Collect your bank account.
So I have another update for you on that note, on a related note. So we were talking a few episodes ago about Chinese bike products.
Yeah.
And I told you that for my trainer bike, I actually
Oh, you got the bike. That's
experimented
right.
and I purchased a new Sensah Empire group set for my trainer bike.
Oh,
And
is so
I
that's
told
not on the
viewers
new bike. That's on your trainer bike, right?
trainer bike.
Okay.
I told you I would come back with a report. So
Hmm.
this weekend I had a little extra time, which is rare on my weekends these days, but
Right.
started putting on the new group set on the bike. So I put everything on, attached all the components, ran the cabling through because I already had the housing attached and everything. It was going to be a real easy job. I was going to be done with this in about a half an hour time
Right.
and connect all the cables and everything. I didn't even have to do the brakes because it's on the trainer. I just had to do front and rear,
Okay.
right? I connect the rear derailleur and I click and I make some adjustments. And then I go to click again and I'm just getting this no click. And I'm looking, I adjust the cable, start looking up the internet, like what the hell's going on? I'm pretty sure after one click the thing busted. So
Yeah.
now,
Wow.
here's what I will say. There's a couple caveats to this whole thing. One, like I said in the previous
Oh,
episode, I made the dumb mistake. I'm not purchasing through Amazon, but purchasing through AliExpress.
AliExpress, right?
And
Yeah.
when you purchase through AliExpress, you're taking a chance. And when this thing came to me, it did not come in the official Sensa packaging. It came just in a box and individually wrapped components. So there's a chance that it could be counterfeit and
A
not
chance.
the actual product.
A good
Now,
possibility.
The second thing I will say is the Sensah Empire generally has gotten great reviews online. So
Right.
what my experiences have not been in line with the general reviews. So it could very well be that I got a counterfeit fraud product and it just stopped working. I will also say that as a general review, I put on the components and everything, but everything felt really flimsy, like compared to like
Uh-huh.
an
Anything
Ultegra or
else, right?
Durace or Red or
And what did you pay for that product?
180
80. Yeah.
for the whole group set. Now it did come with a
Uh,
chain. It came with a front derailleur, rear derailleur, shifters. Like it came with everything that you would need.
hmm.
Um, but the components were pretty flimsy. Now, here's what I've done. To be fair, and in the spirit of science and experimentation, I ordered the same set off of Amazon.
Right.
I want to give it a second go for about the same price. It was $180.
Okay.
And so I want to see now we know coming through Amazon that is going to be a supported backed up product. Amazon vouches for it. And so that will
You can
be
return it if you need
you
to.
can return it.
Okay.
So I'm going to see if comparing those two, if there's any differences,
Hmm.
and then we'll see what the case is. AliExpress, I can still return the stuff, which I will do. I'll return this unit, but it's not like I've been working with componentry and bike parts long enough to know that that's not
Yeah.
me. Like I shifted it, and there's just nothing, no
There.
cable pull or nothing. So
Ooh.
for what it's worth,
Okay.
all right.
Yeah.
Any comments about that, Blaze? Or are you okay?
No, I love those Chinese parts.
All right. This is good. It will work out at the end of the day. Okay. Oh, and I started another bike project.
Uh-oh. What
You're gonna like
now?
this. You're gonna like this one. So my son, he wanted to try mountain biking a couple years ago.
Right. I remember
So
that.
I got him. I didn't spend a ton of money because I didn't know if he was going to stick with it or not, which he ended up not sticking with it. But I got very lucky. I found a incredible deal from a guy on the other side of the state who his son went through the same youth mountain biking team and just wanted to
Right.
kind of do a good deed. And so it was this Niner Air 9 mountain bike hardtail, which was great. For $500, he gave it to me. And I picked this thing up, not expecting much, but it had Chris King headset, Chris King hubs
Oops.
on the wheels.
Wow.
It had a really nice
For
race face.
$500?
Yeah, a really nice race face crankset with bottom
Wow.
bracket. Like it was really well done, and the frame is a great frame. And so my
The
son was done
components are
using
worth more than 500. Right out
right,
loud.
and so
Really.
I didn't want to waste the components. My son is done using it. He's not mountain biking anymore, and
Uh-huh.
so I was thinking, well, this thing has always been kind of large on him. I wonder if maybe I could squeeze into it. I don't need a hardtail mountain bike, but what about if I made a monster cross bike? Like, do I have the parts to do that? It's got 29er tires, like it's got a Fox suspension fork, factory fork, which is the highest level Fox fork. It is an older fork. It's the F29, but it's okay. It's
I
got
thought you were gonna tell me you were gonna build me a mountain bike. You know, I don't have a mountain
no,
bike in my arse.
no, not yet. So it's got 80 millimeters of suspension. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this. I got the Salsa flared drop bar for it.
Cowbell. Yeah.
Yeah, the cowbell. I have
Yeah.
some leftover bar end shifters from my triathlon days, and I'm gonna hook up the bar end shifters on the cowbell drop bar, and I'm gonna convert this thing to a monster cross bike with these Chris King components, and I think it's gonna be cool.
What wheel set do you have on it? I mean,
It's
just
got a nice stands, tubeless
stands.
arched wheel set,
Hmm.
29er wheel set, uh,
Wow.
with Chris King hubs. Like, great. I got some new tires for it.
Right. Well,
And
you know
this
what?
winter, when we hit the CNO, I'll be rolling out on that
I was just gonna say I was on chat with Hunt this week. I almost pulled the trigger on
again.
on these 35 extra wide wheels, and then they told me they're not compatible with my salsa cut. I was like, oh, are you serious? Like,
Why?
really? Yeah.
Through axle
I,
difference?
yeah, I guess so. So the only thing I can get is their mountain bike wheels, which they're even wider. I was looking
Yeah,
at 25 internal, and the mountain bike are 31. But
it's pretty wide.
there's no depth. It's just a mountain
Right,
bike wheel. So I don't
right.
know. I gotta go back to the drawing board about what I think I'm gonna put it out on the
You
forum
know
with
what,
the salsa
Lee?
cutthroat guys.
I know a guy. I can get you great Chinese carbon wheels for your bike. You'll be very happy.
I mean, I was looking at they were $1,000 for I could get them for like 775 on the hunts that I wanted because my buddy had them, and then I was so bummed when they said they're not
I'll
compatible. I was
get
like,
you in for 550.
jeez. All right, we'll look at that later.
All right. So
So where
look,
are we on to next? We're
so we're
rambling
going
on
to
here.
talk about some New Year's Day rides. And so with New Year's coming
Okay.
up, this is something that I always wanted to do. Like as soon as the ball drops, I've always thought about, dude, I should just jump on my bike and just go for a ride, even if it's a half an hour or whatever, just to say I did it.
You're talking about the
So,
middle of the night or the next day?
well, some of these are New Year's Eve day. Actually, I think all these are New Year's Day rides, but I've thought about New
Okay.
Year's Eve rides, and there are New Year's Eve rides out there. Just a half an hour around the neighborhood, just to say I already have a ride in on the New Year.
I've never done a night bike ride. I've always wanted to try that. We should try that
I'll
sometime.
ride at night all the time.
I've got a light, but I've never done it.
I hop on the fat tire bike. I roll down to the trail. Now the problem is the deer kind of get in the way because they're not expecting bikes to be
Yeah.
rolling through. But after
Right.
they see me a few times, it clears out. Put a flashlight on there. Yeah, rolling out all the time. So,
All
okay.
right. That sounds cool.
So apparently, I am not the only one who has had the dream to ride on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day because there are quite a few New Year's rides. Now, I will start first. Start first with our local ride.
I mean, this
There
year might
is
be good because it's been in the 50s in December. It hasn't been that
It's
bad.
always pretty moderate around Christmas time around here. The
Hmm.
annual DC Downtown New Year's Day e-bike ride with e-bike lovers. Now, this one looks like, of course, there'll be e-bikes there, which we should definitely have a conversation about e-bikes and our feelings about. I would love
Yeah.
to
Right.
vent, but I don't know that you definitely have to just join us for a short and pleasant e-bike ride around DC New Year's Day. Now,
That'd be
I
cool. Go
don't know
around
if
the
you
monuments and stuff.
have to
That'd be neat.
Yeah, I don't know if you have to have an e-bike or not, but e-bikes are certainly welcome. It's a 20-mile ride.
That's
Parking
right.
starts at the Anacostia Drive in the back of the skating pavilion. 94% of the ride is paved, bike path, or flat terrain. And the
Hmm.
cool thing is, it goes through all the monuments and the cool things to see around DC.
That
It might
sounds
be
pretty
even,
cool.
yeah, even if you don't live here, it could be like a little getaway excursion. You
Right.
live, somewhere in the tri-state area or something. You come up from North Carolina
Hour and
to
a half away or
take
2 hours.
your kids
Yeah.
down DC for the day and do a bike ride. Starting time is
Nice.
1:30,
So it's,
and
yeah.
halfway point is Haynes Point. We will provide snacks, hot tea, cider. You can even bring your own picnic.
Haynes
Various
Point's
monuments
nice.
can be
It's like a
seen.
loop. We used to do
Yeah,
that with the Raffle Club. I
we
did that in
did.
their pouring
You and I
rain
did
once.
that once.
Hmm.
You see the Capitol, the Municipal Fish Market, White House, Lincoln Memorial, Nationals Ballpark, Titanic Memorial, New
Wow.
Frederick Douglass Bridge. So
That
seems
sounds pretty
like a
cool.
really cool bike ride to do. Maybe you
Nice.
and I will jump on that one. We'll have to see.
Yeah. That sounds
All right,
cool.
now there are, of course, I'm gonna save some. I'm gonna save the best one for last. So
Okay.
we'll keep going here. Southern California, of course, that's the biking mecca of the United States. Of course, they
75 and sunny New Year's Day,
through.
right?
There's a whole page just called the SoCal New Year's Day bike rides. Like there's
Mm.
like 20 of them. This one that I came up with is Southern California's New Year's Day bike ride brings cyclists together. So there are a few different ones. There's a Long Beach New Year's Day ride, Mount Wilson New Year's Day ride. Let's see what else I have here. You guys are so spoiled out in California. It's unbelievable. With
Yeah.
your
Tell me
hair
about
and
it.
your ugh, all your bike riding and your racing out there. I wish we had some of that weather out here.
I know.
In any event, I can't. There are probably 20 different rides here.
Wow.
Those are just a few of them. So if you're
Are
in
you
the
going to give
southern,
us links
yeah,
later? Are you going to give us some links?
sure, yeah, I can put in the
Okay.
links later.
Cool.
So if you're in the California area, Southern California is the place to go. They have a whole slew of New Year's
Hmm.
Day rides, and maybe you and I will catch a flight sometime and hop out there. All right. Next, the New Year's Day Augusta Canal Bike Ride. This
What?
is on by the Georgia Sierra Club Savannah River Group. Okay?
Hmm.
And this, the New Year's Day Augusta Canal Bike Ride. 16 miles of moderate, 8 Savannah Rapids trails. I don't know what that means. Start off at the New Year's Rite with a moderate bike ride along the Augusta Canal to downtown. You eat lunch and then ride back. The canal trail is dirt and gravel. Fat tires or hybrid tires are a must. Helmets required.
Hmm.
So, let's see. You meet in front of the bathrooms at the upper parking lot at the Savannah Rapids Park. So pump up those tires and join us. So seems pretty cool if you want to ride through Augusta, Georgia. Look at these very nice people here on their website. They look like they're having a ton of fun. So join those people in Augusta, Georgia, for the New Year's Day ride. Now, here's my favorite. This, we'll have to join this someday. Now,
Okay.
for those people out there,
Was this in Hawaii or Costa Rica?
this one is in Bellingham, Washington. This one
Holy
is for all
cow.
those people out there very comfortable with their fitness.
Right.
This is the World Naked Bike Ride of Bellingham, Washington.
Oh my
Bike as
God.
bare as you dare through Bellingham World Naked Bike Ride, Bellingham, Washington. Cyclists and skaters, can't imagine that look. Let's
Wow.
see. Ride leaves at 8 p.m. Don't be late. Rain or shine. Be prepared for anything.
I
This
wonder if
starts up
that's, let me guess, that must be organized from the crazy guy that has the YouTube channel up there in Washington State. What's his name? He's the one,
no,
it's not him.
no. It is this guy who seems to be wearing less than full clothing. Seems to be the organizer.
A
Uh,
little strange in the Northwest to begin with, but
yeah, it starts at 8 p.m. and goes till 11:30 at night.
at night,
Uh,
it's got to be
there-
cold.
there's
Oh,
a pregame rally. Okay, the rally is at 6 p.m. till we ride out. I guess everyone just hangs out naked there.
I drink bourbon
Um,
before they ride, probably
up
warm
for the
up.
ride. There may be penny bike mechanics, glitter guts, photo booth, and more. Bring your
Yeah.
bike lights, snacks, shoes, and clothes if you wish.
That sounds pretty eventful.
Yeah, this is
Wow,
that would be something. And so
that's
we'll see.
crazy.
We always welcome pictures from the event. If Bellingham, you want to send some pictures to the station, to the channel, we'll take a view of that. So those are my several wonderful New Year's Day rides. We
You know,
have one here locally, and then one out
you
in
got me
Washington.
thinking here. Maybe we ought to create our own New Year's Canal cruise ride or something and promote it this week, and go out on the canal. At night or during the day. That
Well,
would be.
with so
I don't
many
know if
things plays, I have a hockey tournament that day, so I will
oh,
be at
I
a
can
hockey rink.
coordinate it. I can be the coordinator. Can you ride
But
on the
maybe,
canal at night legally? I wonder if you can, because I think
sure,
all
why
the
not?
parking lots close.
Oh, are they closed?
Yeah, at sundown. But I mean, I could ride from my house, so it doesn't matter.
Well,
But
we could ride downtown around here or wherever.
yeah,
There's we could ride in my neighborhood. Yeah, I ride
yeah.
here all the time at night. We have trails.
But
So anyway,
one thing on New Year's, I think it's around this time of year. Rafa does a virtual. What do they call it? The Festivus Rafa Festivus ride. It's a virtual thing.
let's
You get on Strava and you ride wherever you want, however many miles. I don't know if it's one day or if it's the week between Christmas and New Year's, but I'm pretty sure they have a Rafa Festivus ride. If you go to the Rafa site, rafa.cc, you can find out about it. That's one I've done before virtually.
okay.
So there's a lot of virtual rides as well.
I assume
Um,
that's a Seinfeld Festivus reference, right?
I
Festivus.
guess I don't know. They've been doing it for like 10, 15 years, I think now. Yeah.
Hmm. All
Anyway.
right. So anyway, there's your New Year's Day rides. Get out there, enjoy, work off some of that Thanksgiving and Christmas weight we've all put
Yeah.
on, and usher in the new year the right way. So I don't know about you, but I have big plans for 2024 to increase my cycling mileage. You and I
Yep.
still have to decide which ride we're going to do, the big epic adventure.
Right.
I I still am in favor of the pants ride, but if you want to tail it back a little bit and just ride from Pittsburgh down back
I
home,
was talking to
we
my
can do.
buddy Brandon about because he saw our last YouTube video about the pan ride, and then I said, "Hey, we're thinking about." He said, "You really going to do that?" I'm like, yeah, we're thinking about it. What do you think? He said, "That would be pretty epic." I said, "Yeah, for sure." And then I said, "We're thinking about Pittsburgh taking the train from Harper's Ferry up." He said, "Oh, that'd be cool. I'd be interested in doing either one." He said, "Doing with us." So,
I mean, the Pittsburgh thing would be fun, and it definitely is
yeah,
something that I wanted to do for years, but it
right,
is not it is not necessarily epic. And
epic.
I
No,
feel like
yeah,
again, ever since we failed to complete
okay.
our mission in the Smokies,
Well,
we
we
have
did. We
undone business. We have to
we
complete.
completed our mission was to get you on your first bike packing trip, and we made it exciting. Like, and it was
Oh,
all you're doing.
that wasn't my man. Apparently, we were on different wavelengths. My mission was to complete 82 miles through the Smokies, which required sleeping with bears, apparently.
Oh man,
And
yeah,
we lived to see another day, but
yep.
now we're at another day, and I think we need to go for it. So look, the viewers out there, when you're watching this, please put in the comments below. Are you going to vote for the Pittsburgh Day Ride? Or are you going to vote for the full Pennsylvania north to south 4-day epic adventure?
I think we
You
should come
help
up
us.
with a Pennsylvania west to east ride.
Too much traffic. Well, you just hop on Route 30 the whole time and
Yeah, right.
ride with the trucks.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't hear commitment in your heart though, Blaze.
On what? I'm game for any one
On
of
the pan,
those.
are
Huh?
you?
On
Are
what?
you?
The
On the pan
pan?
street.
I think the pan would be more fun of a goal, and it would push me farther to train harder next year for sure.
Exactly. I think we
That's
need
why
a
I
big.
sort of like that better than just the CNO. I ride all the time. The Gap, I ride at least several times a year. And I don't know that end of Pittsburgh to Ohio Pile's supposedly okay. So
Yeah,
I'd much rather. I like discovering new places. I mean, that's
me
my
too.
favorite thing to do. So
Okay.
I think
Okay.
settled.
Yes. Okay. I love
Yeah,
it. All right. The pan's fruit it is.
definitely.
So we're going to do that over like 4th of July
Yep,
weekish.
that
We're
sounds
going to work
good.
out the exact days, and then we also have to work out how we're getting to northern Pennsylvania and getting
We can
back
figure
from
that
southern
out.
Maryland or northern
We'll
Maryland. But
figure that out.
we'll work out the details.
Right.
All right. Sounds good. I'm excited. Got
Hmm.
to start training right as we get into 2024.
Yeah. I
All
either got to
right.
get. Here's a question for you. Do I get new bearings for my current DT Swiss 1900s or just buy new wheels? They want like almost $200 to put bearings and everything. And I'm like,
You
that's why I
gotta
got
get
on the hunt. I'm like, 600 or 200. Why don't I just get new wheel set? Screw
you
it.
gotta get new wheels.
I mean,
Sell your wheels, sell the DT wheels,
yeah,
and then put it towards a new set, and you have new bearings.
I think I'm better off doing that, honestly, than
Oh,
spending
definitely.
$175 to put
That's
bearings in the
crazy.
wheels. Yeah. You know,
You
my,
shouldn't be bearings that quickly, should you?
well, I've got almost 10,000 miles on those wheels. So I,
Okay.
that's a question. When do you replace bearings? How often? I mean,
I don't know. I've never ever replaced bearings, but
that bike's
I don't
only
ride
2 years
like you.
old. It's only
Yeah,
two
I
years old.
replace
They tell
bikes
me
every 18 months. So
I didn't put bearings in my other wheels every 2 years, so I don't know what's up with this. Maybe it's
yeah.
just
Are you getting are you feeling friction or something or?
the bike shop told me I needed it in the one. I said, well, I might as well do both if I need it in one. I think, and then I found out talking to another bike shop that they said, on the rear hub, the front's pretty simple. You got two bearings. On the back, they said there's two sets because you have the hub
Yeah.
bearing and you
Right.
have the whatever bearing. I don't
Wheel
know.
bearing. Yeah.
And then he said, I got to look at the wheel and pull it to see the number to see which one because there's so many different configurations. I'm like, okay. So I might drop them off today or I might not.
Yeah. I might just
Anyway,
get a new wheel set.
yeah.
So that brings us up to an interesting point talking about bike dealers. What
Yep.
is the current state of the bike industry?
All
And
right.
I think the consensus out there is the bike industry is in trouble right now. And
A
A
lot of other
lot of what
industries.
has contributed to that is during COVID, COVID has sent ripple effects into every part of the economy and all kinds of industries and everything else. But what happened during COVID was everyone was staying at home. They were looking at ways to get out and get some fresh air and get some exercise. And all these people bought bikes and increased this incredible demand on bikes. And so the bike stores and the bike manufacturers ramped up production and didn't think about, well, what about if this thing is kind of short lived? Like, what are
A
we going to do
bubble.
with all the
Yeah.
inventory? So they've ramped up this production to make all these sales, and now they have a glut of inventory that they can't get rid of.
I knew that was
That,
going to happen. I just knew that was going to happen 3 years.
yeah, you could see it coming from a mile away. The other problem was that not every, but a lot of bike dealers got very greedy during COVID and saw this as their opportunity to make out, and they started
Right.
increasing their shop rates, and they started,
Yeah.
making demands on their customers and increasing prices. And bike manufacturers too. The price of bikes during COVID just, I mean, you look at nice road
Inflated
bikes and fun bikes, and
overnight.
you're talking $12,000, $14,000 like a car. It's
Yeah.
insane. And so a lot of consumers not only have the supply channels caught up, not only is there already a glut of inventory, but then demand has tanked because not only have
Mm.
people gotten their bikes, and a lot of people, as we thought, would give
Yep.
up biking, 2 months into it once COVID was over, and now there's a bunch of used bikes out there, but they're not wanting 12 and $14,000 bikes. Like that is unreasonable.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so you have this huge drop in demand on new bikes, all while there's a glut in inventory and supply chain issues have been resolved. And so what is happening is that the bike manufacturers and dealers are getting destroyed. Many of the small manufacturers are going bankrupt. There were another two or three just this week that went down, small kind of custom manufacturers out in the
Hmm.
West. The large manufacturers are having trouble themselves. Specialized is in deep trouble.
Yep.
Um, I looked yesterday at Competitive Cyclist. I was shopping around for a helmet, and they have 40% off deals on some of their mountain bikes, Santa Cruz mountain bikes. 40%
40%.
off. I saw one deal on another YouTube video I was watching where I forget the bike company, but they were doing a buy one, get one free. And the buy one was already discounted. So you
Wow.
got two mountain bikes for the price of one discounted
What?
mountain bike because they just had to get rid of inventory. So,
Buy one and give me the free one.
yeah, just give me the free. The bike industry is absolutely getting decimated. And, some of it, I feel very badly for some of especially the local bike shops because
Yeah.
a lot of them are small mom and pops just trying to make it.
Mhm.
That said, there was at least one bike shop in our local area, and I'm sure it's not totally uncommon,
I think I know
where
which one you're
I
talking
saw
about.
absolutely gouging customers. I was in line behind a customer who clearly was a novice. He had just bought this bike from Dick's Sporting Goods or something like that, and
Jeez.
had brought it in just to make sure it was safe to ride, like totally unknowing. And I
Right.
saw the shop owner come take a look at this brand new, fully built up bike that maybe just needed a tweak or a tune.
Right.
And he started listing things that needed to be replaced that had no business needing to be replaced, and things that needed tuned up or services that needed done that there's no way they needed service to be done. And he was
Mm.
totally taking advantage
That's
of
not right.
the poor guy who had no idea. And the guy was like, I don't know anything about bikes, whatever you say, sure.
Right.
And the shop rates were astronomical, and I haven't got, actually that shop ended up closing in the area, which isn't shocking. And I stopped going there after that because I could not support that. Um,
Yeah,
and so
you're talking about
that's going on.
the bike industry. It's not just bikes. It's the whole apparel, everything associated with biking. I mean, what we went over last show about where to shop and the fact that there's so many secondary suppliers. I mean, the main
Yep.
suppliers are offloading their inventory because they got so much that they can't move to these warehouses or whatever you want to call it. And they're discounted, like we said, 30 to 70%. That just goes to show you, and it's constant. This hasn't changed in the last 2, 3 years even. It's just growing more. When it comes to, I just bought a new helmet. I didn't tell you. I bought a new cast helmet.
Me
Um,
too. What kind?
the new Ion, I think it is.
The Protoni Icon?
It's yeah, the Proton
Are we
uh,
gonna have matching helmets? What color?
Ion. Take a guess. What color you
Green.
think? Yeah, you
You,
got
you
it.
went for that
Green.
the deal on the green, the 148 deal?
No, mine was more than that.
Oh, I
Where
saw a
did you
deal the other day just on the green one.
148?
And
What?
I thought to myself, I should send this link to Blaze because that's right up his neighborhood.
You
It
should. Do you know how much I
was
paid for it? You know how much I paid for it?
no.
245.
Oh, I'll send you the link.
Send me
Cancel
because
it.
I'll return this. Where is
Yeah,
it?
I, I
Where did you
forget.
see it?
They had like one left, and it was only the green, but it was your color. And I was like, oh, I
Was
should
it a
send that.
large? Was it a large? It's hard to find
I
a
think it was a
large.
medium, but I'll check.
Yeah, I think you're talking about Pedal Mafia, maybe. Is that where you saw
That
it?
doesn't sound familiar. No.
No. Well, here's the other one. I bought this, and I was back to the Glens Barrow scenario. No response for 2 weeks now, 3 weeks, and then yesterday I got a shipping thing. It says it's on the way. After I sent them 3 emails and left.
Where?
So, and then I Googled the company, and there's 2 employees, and they're in San Francisco. And
You might have bought from the same place, Cyclismo or whatever.
no, I'm familiar with that. This is
Okay.
DSTNC or something like that,
Oh,
whatever. But
I don't know.
anyway,
I got
I
my deal
might
for
just send it
20% off.
back if I can find a better deal. Anyway,
We're
that's a
gonna have
great
matching
helmet.
helmets.
So
That's
you ordered
great.
a green
No,
Proton as
I
well?
got red because I got to
What?
stay brand.
What
I
color?
got red.
Yeah,
Red.
to match your bike. That's cool. It's a great helmet. You can't beat it. It's safe. It's a little bit heavier than some of the other newer, lighter ones, but it's vented really well. I,
Oh,
I love
look.
my. I've had
And
mine for like four or
arrow
5 years.
too.
Yeah, I think I've had mine for 4 or 5 years. That's why I thought, it's time
Me
for a
too.
new one. You know.
Oh, we need to complete this conversation, but
Yeah.
I have an update regarding my Elves bike too.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to
Came
see
in
it.
the meantime. So anyway, so back to the bike shop conversation. Yeah,
Hmm.
and you can see even Peloton, which is somewhat related to the bike industry,
Yeah.
Peloton has crashed too. Same thing. COVID
Yeah.
industry demand ramped up, and now all these people, just like the
There's
treadmill
there's no
situation.
better time to get into biking than now. I mean, you should be able to get a good deal on
Right.
anything, really. If you shop and you know where you're looking, if you look at those links we gave you last week,
Mm-hmm.
there are deals to be
I
had.
mean,
Now, I can't imagine after the holidays, I bet you'll be even
yes,
more because they're gonna go,
40%
oh,
off Santa
we
Cruz
didn't,
bike.
yeah, we didn't move this inventory. Now we got to drop it again. So, I,
You could never find a deal on a Santa Cruz bike in the last 3 years, ever.
no, no, I probably should buy a mountain bike after the
Yeah, it's
holidays.
time. It's time, Blaze. It's time to buy a bike.
Help me find a
Um,
wheel set for the Cuddy. That's what I need
yeah.
next.
So before we get to the business
Anyway,
talk, let me give an
yeah.
update on my Elves project. So
We're,
as I
we're
mentioned,
running a little. We're running a little long today, so we gotta watch our
what's
time.
the time?
We're at 38 minutes already.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't really have much to say about business. So
Yeah, skip
the
that this
elf,
week.
I just want to know the elves frame came through as I noted in the last kind of the last few episodes. The
Right.
customer service experience with this company has been incredible, 110%, just fantastic. And
You
so
said the
I was
paint job
hoping,
was beautiful. You like it?
I was hoping when the bike came in that it was going to match my expectations based on the customer service.
Right.
It has not. It
No,
has
really,
actually exceeded what I expected
really.
customer service. The paint, I took that
Wow.
frame out of the box. I was wowed.
Get
So,
out.
doesn't know my brand colors for my law firm, Henry Martin Law, are
Or
black
these
and red.
colors,
Yeah,
black
black
and
and
red.
red.
Yeah.
And so they have this holographic black to red paint color that in the sun it goes from black to red, and it just
What?
screamed. So I got the holographic black to
Red.
red. I got matte black on the interior, the stays in the fork, and then in glossy black I have Henry Martin Law written in script in
Oh
several
my
places on the
God.
bike. And it is, and I told you in the last episode, they wrote to me and said the Henry Martin Law, the one logo might run
The
into the
fork.
hole where the housing
Right.
goes for the disc break. And I said, that's fine. Thank you for reaching out, whatever. They found a way to make it fit so it did not conflict with the hole. And I mean, just I could not be more pleased. Now I need to build up the bike. I'm going to build it with some SRAM red and hopefully ride it down when we go to the Outer Banks next week. But I
Wow.
mean, not be more pleased with this bike. Elves, the Fathom Fal, what is it called? Evo Pro, or maybe it's just the Evo. It's a 12-speed disc version.
It almost
I'll
looks
do
like
a
a
whole
triathlon bike. It looks very
yeah,
aero. The
just
one
a
I saw.
very aero aggressive road bike.
I,
Um,
I was looking
I'm
at
always-
I looked at their site. I like the bikes, but I was looking for a gravel bike, and they don't really have a gravel centric
no, I think they're
bike.
mostly in road.
Mm. I wish
But
they had a gravel.
absolutely incredible. I'm pleased, 150% so far with my experience.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool. What was the wheel set like on it?
No wheel set, it's just the frame.
Oh, you just bought the frame from them. Okay.
I have my
So,
wheel set for my Chinese
yeah,
wheel
your
set.
Chinese wheel
It's
set.
great.
Okay.
I got some Vittoria Corso tires
Cool.
with all on there. The whole thing should look. I'll put up pictures on the
I
site.
might be by later
Ready.
today and take a peek at it if you have it there.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
anyway,
Okay, so just moving
so
on.
yeah,
Now, make this very brief. Here's what I'll say about the economy. It doesn't look good on the macro scale. I can tell you December is usually one of my extremely busy month. Like it's my busiest month. I call it irresponsibly busy because I have so much that I can't even keep track of what I have to do
a
anymore.
good thing.
It gets to that point. I don't have anything to do this week. I mean, I have some stuff to do this week,
I
but
actually got 2 calls last night. I got 2 appointments today to run. So out
last
of the
week
clear blue.
I was billing 10 hours a day last week, which is a lot.
Hmm.
But this week it's kind of crickets. I don't know if people have already left or if
I
it's
think people are
waning.
winding down early this year. They just
Yeah,
want to
maybe
chill.
because Christmas is on Monday, so they're starting to
Yeah,
take off early this
the
week.
middle of the week. That's why I said
So
to
maybe
her,
that's
let's leave
what it is.
Thursday. She's like, oh, I don't know, maybe Friday. I'm like, let's get out of here. I just want to get away, do
Yeah.
something different.
So so
When
for
you
me,
leaving? You said Friday or
Saturday.
Saturday? Yeah.
So for me, the demand for now maybe again it will crank way up when people come back from Christmas next week. Who knows? But
Ah,
it's been an
I don't
okay
know.
month, but it hasn't been like December's of the past.
Hmm.
So, but you're seeing
Yeah.
some demand.
I've been pretty steady through December. It's not as busy as it was last quarter of last year, but I'm not complaining. It's been steady.
Now my
Considering
overall
the economy, what's going on.
the numbers for the year for me are the same as last year. So maybe
I'm
it's
up
just
from last year. I'm up from last year a good bit.
yeah,
So I don't know.
yeah. I don't know. Well, maybe
Anyways,
that's also because a lot of people are going out on their own and leaving the cubicle,
I
starting
think
up
that
their
has a
own business.
lot to do with it. We talked about,
Yeah,
the fleeing corporate America for sure.
yeah.
Next
So
week we
anyway,
have
what do we have coming up next time? We're going to be
next
taking a
week.
break next week, right?
Yeah, we'll take a break, but the week after, I'm thinking I got a couple things I thought about. We talked about goal setting for 2024 and talk about goal setting. Maybe we'll talk about from a business standpoint, goal setting, but more as well, bike rides, races, where to
Uh-huh.
find places to put on your 2024 bike ride list. I always started a tab on my what do you call it, bookmarks, 2024 rides, and I start saving them in there, and then I'll go back in the next after Christmas and say, all right, which one do I want to sign up for?
Yeah.
So we'll give people some tips on where to look to find the rides across the U.S. and maybe some even international stuff if somebody wants to look worldwide.
Okay.
We'll do that. And I thought about maybe some of our favorite books for, we talked about a lot of people are starting their own businesses. So I thought we could talk about our favorite books for leadership as a business owner to get some tips on, they always say keeping your knowledge, you should be reading a book a month, or I don't read that much, but I always enjoyed reading books about leadership and stuff when I was in management. And
Yeah.
I thought I'll share a couple of my favorite books. You could share a couple of yours when it
Well,
comes
I'll have a
to.
note. I have a note about that I'll share on that show.
Okay, cool. So that's what we got coming up next show. This is a little long this week. I think we were rambling on about some fun stuff, but all good as always. Great to see you. Enjoy the holidays with your family,
Yeah.
everybody. You too, Hank. And I hope you're
Yeah.
feeling better soon, getting over that cold
Thank you.
stuff.
Have a safe trip up to Massachusetts.
Yeah, I'm just chill. I don't even think I'm going to take the bike. I'm take my camera and get out and do some photography. Yeah.
Oh,
Especially if I drop it off to get the bearings, I'm still up in the air about whether I want to do that or not. So, anyway.
all right. Well, Merry
Cool.
Christmas, everyone. Happy
Yeah.
holidays.
Have a good
And we'll
one.
get for the new year. Get
See you
out on
next
that
time.
naked bike ride.
Yeah, right. See ya. Bye.